Hey guys, how are you doing? This is Nanjing Gupta. I'm sorry I'm late because I was so sick since last Thursday morning. I got a very high fever and also I got I am vomiting and stomach upset and keeping seeing doctor, and even Monday I went there and and also I need the blood test and the body check stuff, and also I needed to see doctor um, these days. So I don't know. I gotta lose weight a lot, so I have to see him again. I'm sorry for that, and I'm late. And also I'm not very good on the video, so that's I'm nervous. Um, Today I'm going to talk about Chinese soil and polluted soil, and also air and the environment crisis in China. In China, one-fifth of the farmland soil severely polluted, and just by chemical and like lead and also mercury and heavy metal stuff, and all of the land, all of the crops and the vegetables, rice, they planted, it's all polluted. But you can see one of the picture over here. It's called Cadmier orange. You can see like that, and it's very terrible. But if people have a little bit of rich person, like mom, they are rich, they never eat this. They went to city to buy some stuff, import, not from local. Only poor person can afford. They have to eat. They don't have any choice. And but the government proposed said within just 4 years, 90% of China's current polluted farmland will be made reusable again. So and also the organic rice farming in southern China cannot eat. Those is just happening since 1990. China has big changes, big reform by President Deng Xiaoping, and make a lot of changes. They want to make economic works, and it is work. During the past 10 years, the GDP is higher than 10%, and but China has left a terrible legacy, like widespread oil pollution that has contaminated food crops and jeopardized public health. Although this once liberated soil data and state secret, Chinese officially slowly became knowledgeable about these grief problems. For example, like in Suzhou province, whole village they have 7,000 people around, and they're working with the factories, because around the village they build a lot of factories, and the people working for the factories instead of working in farms, they can make more money. And but the thing is, because a lot of factories is chemical factory, and people had eat local food and work in a chemical factory, they get a lot of diseases and cancers. And one of the guy, Zhang Jianwei, died for the just for the cancer, it is called rectum cancer, because at the first beginning he get medication, and later on, because the medication they can't afford the bill, it's too high, and actually at they lost the day of of his life. He drank the water of from Lake Tai. Lake Tai is um, the third largest freshwater in China. It's beautiful lake, but it's polluted. 1/3 of lake was polluted, so it's unfortunate. So people died for that, and but other people around the Lake Tai, all of the factories around, and also around the farmland, they build a lot of the factories too, and agriculture around the area. It's not like a farmland anymore, just like some of the farmland occupied by factories, and factories begin to cluster around the lakeshore, and factories which is um, brought to surge of the prosperity to the local people. Local people, they can get money from the factories, and they make money from that. And some of them happy, some of them not, because they don't like their hometown get polluted, and everything they have to eat, because they can, even they make money from the factory, but compared with other people, still they still poor. They cannot afford to buy food every day from the city. So that's why they stay in their in their hometown. Since 1990s, nearly 3,000 factories have been built on the beautiful shores, lake, as well as agriculture area. The government resisted efforts to draw attention to cancer epidemics in China's newly industrialized area, gave up eating the crops they grow. They know that their vegetables are planted in soil polluted with cadmium, lead, and mercury, and heavy metals that are dangerous to human health. And one of the villager, his last name is Zhang, he said, he confessed that he rarely eats local produce because that's too much soil pollution. He said he's very few times to use it to eat it. And also government, Chinese government put those area, they put the notes, just like labeled it for the state secret until February 2013, that the Ministry of Environmental Protection finally admitted that cancer villages existed in China, and released a list that included the area around the lake, Tai Lake. And actually they estimate that there are 450 cancer villages in China, and they believe the phenomenon is spreading. And also the same guy, John, complained. They said the government, they are happy to welcome any pollution firm, and for the time were the villagers who found a job in new factories, because from 1990s local officials were eager to invite the factories and the chemical plants into the area, and they are ready. They already weak. Environment control were often disregarded entirely, and people over there see all of the plants and the farms. It's so the all of the corpse is so bad. You can see the picture and see it's all around the farms. They build up the buildings and they want to make money to make buildings, and also they pay money for the people, for the local farmer, to give them money, one-time deal, and build buildings and factories. That's damage a lot of the farm area and pollute a lot since then. And some people, one of the guy, his name is Wu Li Hong. His wife and his daughter and himself have moved overseas because they said that they cannot buy those kind of polluted foods and environment. He cannot bear for that. And but for the poorest families, still eating local produced food, knowing that it is contaminated, but they don't have any choices. Harsh treatment is a reminder to other villagers that environment activism carries a high cost. And from 2005 and 2011, increasing levels of cadmium were found at 37.5% of size of sample, with average increases of 0.03 milligrams of cadmium per kilogram of soil at its highest, and the annually average increase was 0.2 mg milligrams. So overall, they have no scientific proof suspect the spate of the cancer death is linked to the pollution, and the worry about lead levels in the children's blood. But the children around, they still eat unhealthy food, so cause a lot of death as well. And second part I'm going to talk about is China's toxic air and also environment crisis. Actually, in China, 1/3 of the people dead of smog, and because it's a lot of surge and smog, and people breathe every day, especially for the last summer in Beijing. Beijing is the capital of China, and every other 3 days in Beijing, PM 2.5, that's very high pollution, and which is tiny smog particles, most hazardous to health, and each reported more than 30,000 deaths in 2013 related to smog. And the smog will make you lung cancer, liver cancer, respiratory diseases, and you feel sore throat, and you coughing a lot. You cannot breathe, like you feel breathe difficulty, and you can see the pictures, and people around there, it's suffering a lot, and see the pollution, because this is a pollution, very bad pollution. This land. So people in the daytime they have to wear face mask like this, and when they go to work, and go anywhere outside, they have to wear like this. See, China's environment crisis. This is in Beijing. This is on the right hand side is it's before 1990s. Before 1990s, it's very clear sky. This is pollution. This is recently. Every single 3 or 4 days, it will be very smog like this. If seriously you cannot see each other. See the pollution, including the cars and the emission, and also pollution around the factories. Even people give you direction of the traffic, they have to wearing the face mask. And the people, some of the little bit old people, they want to do exercise, they have to wearing face mask to do that. You can see that in the morning. And the travelers from another city to Tiananmen Square. Actually, in this building, see the red one is Xi Jinping and the Deng Xiaoping. Every present in this building, just like a White House over here. And the people definitely go over there to travel. Definitely go over there like civic sports, pictures, stuff like that. People doing the marathon stuff, they still wearing special face mask. Children, see, parents take their children to a hospital on every single time, every single minute have children going or sent to the hospital because the pollution, they cannot breathe, and coughing a lot make them so sick. Just like this. See the very little child, they suffering like this. Child go to the school, went back home, they have to wear like that. And the babies too. So obviously you can see, you cannot see those are two peoples, right? This one is so red, and this one it's normal because it is called Beijing's toxic air. It's called a red air, and the people it's just the face get a defect, and from normal color change to red color, and they sensitive for the dusty air. So people get suffered from that. But and so when people doing stuff like that, and they prefer stay in home if necessary. But sometimes if they have to go outside, they have to put their mask on. So this way they can protect themselves. And in the home, they also have to put the air filter to get the clear air they can breathe, because they don't believe with the outside and inside air anymore, because it's a lot of pollution around. And the people in around of the city, they also have a lot of factories and have a lot of chemical factories. And also Beijing government said that this is because the coal is most China's main stuff of make the air smog. So this is also defect of the water. So in industry alone, China's major water source has polluted, and with supplies in 2014, groundwater supplies in more than 60% of the major cities or categories as bad to very bad, and more than a quarter of China's key rivers are unfit for human contact. That means you cannot touch. And China facing an extremely grave environmental crisis as a true exact extent have metal and chemical contamination, and because the clear and top the government official has warned, pollution has made cancer China's leading cause of death. Nearly 500 million people lacked access to the safer drinking water. So a lot of people don't have they have suffering for the polluted water, and the babies' childhood deaths and the illness from causes from soot, smog, and evidence is mounting that coal and car emission in China as well as developing countries are raising the risk of pregnancy. It causes premature babies, low birth weights, and urotuber defects. Scientists say that PM 2.5, which is danger, begin in the womb. The cities are in big trouble, and so they are babies. So preterm births, low birth weights were twice as likely, and preterm births were 2.5 times more likely among babies born in area of China. About 7% of China's babies were born preterm, while 6% of the classified as low birth weight or less than 5.5 pounds. That's very light. And preterm babies born before 37 weeks of gestation, and the leading cause of newborn death, or otherwise the infant will develop physical disabilities. And experts say air pollution can trigger immune response in the mothers, which produce antibodies that reduce the amount of folic acid that travels through their placenta to their fetuses. Lack of folic acid can lead to birth defects. Birth defects have increased about 70% in China over past 20 years, now reading about 900,000 per year, according to the country's Ministry of Health. Birth defect rates more than double in urban area compared with 22% in rural area. One of the most critical period for the birth defects is early on the pregnancies. Pollution also can alert normals to the disturbed blood flow across the placenta. And China has also another thing called milk scandal in 2008. Estimate 300,000 victims in total. 6 infants dead from kidney stones. and other kidney damage with estimate 54,000. So babies being hospitalized, the chemicals gives the appearance of a higher protein content when added to the milk, leading protein deficiency in the formula. In 4 years, 12 infant deaths from malnutrition. This is damaged the reputation of China's food exports. At least 11 countries stopped all imports of Chinese dairy products because they're afraid about the pollution of the milk and milk deaths. So number of the criminal prosecutors were conducted by Chinese government, and actually at least they arrested. And Xi Jinping met Obama 2014 and 2015. They talking about change the climate of the world, and also the Chinese President Xi Jinping promised to prove and also to make changes of the tried best to change the pollution and also environment as good as quick as possible, and spend money and put labor and change the sky into blue sky and blue water and green water, and also should be blue sky, blue water, and green trees, and give children and people a very healthy environment. I think that's it. This is what the topic I'm talking today about it, and hopefully this is just like have some ideas about how bad the China's pollution is. Actually, in China, I just have one more thing to talk. Just in China, if you go to before 1990s, everything is so good. You can eat the food and you don't have to worry about nothing, and just eat cook as much as you wanted. But right now, if I go back to China, a lot of things I first thought I was thinking, oh my God, this is have pollution. Can I eat? And sometimes I just drink water. I don't want to eat nothing. So the only thing I suffer, just cannot eat too much stuff, especially meat. I don't drink milk at all. I'm just drink the bottled water and eat a little food like that. And definitely I will lose weight if I go back to China. And but I just feel paranoid for that because the food is dangerous, I thought. But some of the land, the area has been improved a lot. But for the some of the very south part of China, like Yunnan province, Chongqing, Chengdu, and Guiyang, some of Guangxi province, those areas, very south part of the area, it's okay. But Guangzhou, Guangdong, Hainan, Hunan, even Shanghai, Zhejiang, Jiangsu province, they have a lot of pollutions around. People are so afraid about the food, everything. So this is a very dangerous and a very critical time. Chinese government needed to make a lot of improvement to put this on the top priority, to make changes, give people healthy environment to live around, and make people happy, and especially the baby and the pregnancy women, and they need to have fresh air and healthy food. So that's why China needed to do a lot of job for this. and just like one people complained, they just want to look at the GDP, not for the health. This is not right. But I know now Chinese government, they now already they noticed about how serious and how bad the pollution is. They put some money and doing some job on it, but they need time. Probably from now, the government said at least 4 years, and from now to 2020, 21 around, maybe they can improve a lot. Hopefully, they can do something better. Thank you so much, Professor. That's all about it. Hopefully, you like it. And again, I apologize so late for my video because I'm not so good at talking on the video, and for writing it's okay, but I don't know. Did I do okay? And hopefully, I wish you everything's good because I know you're pregnant. So hopefully, you can take care of yourself and also your baby. And and right now, and also I saw you. I read your email. You said you in and out hospital. So I hope you are good and you can deal with that good. I know to be mother it's not easy because the pregnancy 9 months. It's not a short period of time. So you probably have a lot of probably another thing happen or stuff like a few pain and stuff like that, and vomiting, and a lot of uncomfortable stuff coming out. So I hope you can overcome and think about your baby, and you're going to be like a good mother already, and just feel happy. I'm so happy for you, and you have a baby. So to be mother, that's a good thing, right? Mom is the greatest person in the world, and so be strong, and when you be mom, you'll be very strong. So be strong, and wish you everything well, and also good wish to you and your family. So bye bye now. Hopefully we'll have a chance to talk. I'm going to send an email to you, and if you want to document my PowerPoints, and I can send it to you by email, and we keep in touch. I appreciate you teaching us. I'm enjoying, and you're a very nice professor. I enjoy the class a lot, and also in this class, and I challenge myself to do the video. This is my first time, and the last time in midterm, and I'm afraid because I'm not too good to talking on the phone or something. It's not good. I mean, just read or write. It's okay. Thank you so much. Bye bye now.